I already made a video on this keyboard before. I'm gonna put a link below in the previous video. And I'm just gonna talk about why this keyboard is my daily driver, some of the differences on this one versus the regular Huntsman. In case you're new to me, I'm Rio Gion and welcome to the channel. I've started out with the K70 RGB brown and traded that up for a K70 RGB blue because I always wanted a blue switch RGB, and I gotta be honest, I love that sound. In the beginning it was great, the clicky switch, the tactile feel. It was about like a few months down the line when I started to notice that the keyboard has gotten stiffer and stiffer. It's really hard to press on the keyboard now, and I didn't want to sell it because the keyboard represents my journey to getting a keyboard that's like that. Of course, I need a new daily driver and I still wanted something that clicks, but I also wanted something softer. One of the keyboards that I was reviewing at the time was the Cooler Master K550, and this one has the Gateron Blue switch, which is smoother than the MX Blue and maybe just a bit softer, but over time it's not as comfortable to type for long durations, or should I say it's not as comfortable for me to be PC because everybody is scared of SJWs nowadays. In fact, I think just mentioning SJW, someone is offended already. Anyways, tangent aside, I didn't want to keep the CK550, so after when I was done making my video, the keyboard went back. I don't remember when exactly that I got my hands on the Razer Huntsman, but I was like, whoa, this is legit. The switch is soft to the touch, it's tactile, and it's clicky, which is best. The only thing that makes me not want to actually keep that particular board is the price tag. $150 is too damn high for this keyboard. This was and still something that I refused to pay for, so after when I'm done reviewing the keyboard, it went back. During that time, I actually stopped writing my book, The 3 Pillars of Financial Freedom, because the K70 is too stiff for my taste, and I wanted a cheaper Razer Huntsman, so I did the thing that most people would do in my situation. I looked into the used market. It actually took me quite a while before I could find this keyboard. In the beginning of the search, I wanted the Razer Huntsman, not this Elite because I don't really care for wrist rests. I know it's soft and magnetic, but I don't use it. Even with this keyboard, when I put on the wrist rest, it puts me in such a awkward, weird typing position that I pretty much immediately took it off when I get the chance. Besides the wrist rest, I also didn't care for dedicated media keys. Now, I often mention those two things as a plus because other people might care for them, but personally, as a user, I don't care for those features. Another thing that you might notice in the videos is that the light is turned off. That's because I don't care for RGB. If a keyboard has RGB, I would set the color blue and call it a day. I know I always mention layers of lighting effects. It's because this is something that I believe a person that wants RGB keyboard would benefit from having this feature. Again, for me as a user, don't care for RGB. Because I choose to keep the lights off, I don't need to install that software. As user-friendly and nice the software is for the keyboard, I didn't care for it. Also, I don't know why, but Razer Synapse 3, this software always crashes when I start my computer. This happens every single freaking time to the point where I just turn off the lights so I don't have to deal with this freaking annoying ass software anymore. At this point, for those of you that are long-time followers, you guys now have an idea of the user side of the keyboards for me. When I review a keyboard, I have to change my perspective because if a keyboard has certain features that I would need to point out, because I am imagining myself as that particular buyer, I would be looking for those features. But when it comes to me, actually me being a user instead of a reviewer, I don't really look at my keyboard when I'm typing, so a lot of the features that I mentioned on these higher end gaming keyboards, I don't care for. The most important thing to me as a user is the switch feel, switch sound. If this keyboard feels soft and fun to type on, this is something that I will always keep as my daily driver. This is why I like the Razer Huntsman so much. Because it's fun to type on, it sounds great, that makes me want to keep the keyboard. So going back to the search, I found this Elite listed for $110, and I noticed a number of days was posted for. The keyboard is a pretty slow sell in the used market, so I offered 60 bucks. I know it's not gonna work out, but it helps me understand how low the seller is willing to go for it. We shake hands at 90, which is fair considering this is a $200 keyboard. The seller still have the wrist rest. If I wanted to sell the keyboard later on, it would be a pretty easy sell for me. I don't plan on selling this keyboard anytime soon because it is way too hard to find another keyboard that's soft and clicky like this one. The thing that I noticed from a mechanical keyboard community is that they would often go for much harder, stiffer switches. So for those people, the MX Blue might actually be light for them. For me, I like the switches soft, so this one is perfect for me. The thing that I realized at this keyboard is that even if you turn off the lights, it doesn't look like you turn off the lights. If you take a look at other keyboards, you can obviously tell that the lights are turned off. Well, this one, it looks like it was made without the lights, which is awesome. From a reviewer's perspective, if this keyboard was a review unit and the price is 200 bucks, this would be a hard no for me because the software sucks for me. I don't think this keyboard is the kind of keyboard you can justify spending 200 bucks on. From a user perspective that bought this keyboard for 90, there's a lot of good things, and even for $90, to be honest, I think people can do better than me. If you're not super picky about your switch, I would say you can find other keyboards that are RGB with a decent software for the same amount of money or less. If you're someone like me and you really want your keyboard a certain way, this keyboard might be the only option for you, so you better just hashtag deal with it. That's pretty much it for this video, so subscribe, ring bell, more content. You guys stay awesome now.